This is QTV Nightly News, which is also on Q Radio 103.3 FM. I'm Mamudu Gajaga, and thank you for joining us. Here are the headlines. As part of his ongoing tour to inaugurate newly completed electricity projects across the country, President Barrow on Monday commissioned the Gambia Electricity Access Network in the Upper River region at Jakunda village in Woolly West. The Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs, in collaboration with the African Development Bank Group, on Tuesday convened the 2026 Country Portfolio Performance Review, CPPR. The Q Group Foundation, in collaboration with the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, Tuesday awarded scholarship packages to another group of 20 students pursuing a 4-year degree courses in the STEM disciplines at the University of the Gambia. The Banjul High Court has acquitted and discharged former military officer Abdullah Sanyang of charges relating to arson and judicial interference. The Gambia's National Youth Parliament convened an emergency national youth dialogue on irregular migration amid growing concerns over the dangers young people face embarking on irregular migration routes. Those were the headlines. Now the news in detail. Welcome and thank you for joining us. This is QTV News. As part of his ongoing week-long tour to inaugurate newly completed electricity projects across the country, President Barrow on Monday commissioned the Gambia Electricity Access Network in the Upper River region at Jakunda village in Woolly West. The project, implemented under the Gambia Electricity Restoration and Modernization Project, has brought electricity to 202 additional communities across the region. Alif Sise reports.
The Gambia Electricity Restoration and Modernization Project is jointly funded by the World Bank, European Union and the European Investment Bank. Through the JAM project and related rural backbone investments, a total of 414 communities across the country are now electrified, including 202 communities in the Upper River region north and south. Implemented between 2019 and 2025, the project represents a total investment portfolio of $164.4 million. Its core objective is to restore, modernize, and expand the Gambia's electricity and water infrastructure to support national development. President Barrow described the inauguration as a defining moment in the country's development journey. He reaffirmed his government's commitment to achieving universal access to electricity by the end of 2026, ahead of the Global Sustainable Development Goals 7 target of 2030.
This event is not only about switching on lights, but also about fulfilling promise and delivering opportunity, dignity and inclusive growth to our people. By the same spirit, it denotes the Gambia's concrete contribution to Africa's collective ambition of closing the electricity access gap that still affects hundreds of millions of our fellow Africans.
Development partners were also represented at the event. Franklin Mutahakama, World Bank representative, Adam Brun, head of European Investment Bank Regional Office, and Immaculada Roca Aikotas, EU ambassador to the Gambia, respectively, congratulated President Barrow, his government, and people of the Gambia for the continued commitment to improve and modernize electricity infrastructure. They described the inauguration as a major step in strengthening electricity distribution across the region.
Sustaining this reform path is essential to ensure that the goal of universal access is not only achieved, but achieved in a sustainable and reliable manner. Central to this next phase is the development of the Eastern Transmission Backbone from Soma to Basse.
Access to reliable electricity is indeed transformational for communities and livelihoods. It improves quality of life. It increases economic activity, job creation, and increases income and welfare.
Access to reliable, affordable, and sustainable electricity is not a luxury. It's a foundation for democracy and development. Electricity powers the schools and health centers, supports small businesses, enables women and youth people to create livelihoods, and connects communities to the wider economy.
Gallo Sedi, Managing Director of NAWEC, urged beneficiary communities to observe safety guidelines and promptly report any faults or concerns to NAWEC. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
The Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs, in partnership with the African Development Bank Group, organized a day-long Country Portfolio Performance Review CPPR 2026. As Lole M. Camara reports, it was an opportunity to evaluate the progress of AFDB-funded projects, pinpoint implementation hurdles, and agree on corrective steps to boost development impact.
The CPPR is an annual joint review between the government and its development partners to assess how well-banked, supported projects and programs are being implemented locally. It provides a platform to monitor progress, identify sticking points, and agree on solutions to improve project delivery and maximize value for money. Joseph Marshall Ribeiro, the Deputy Director for AFDB West Africa and Gambia's country manager, underscored the importance of this session.
Behind every procurement delay or implementation bottleneck, there is a community waiting for change. This is why performance reviews are important. It is our opportunity to assess how the African Development Bank finance portfolio is performing in the Gambia, an opportunity to pause, reflect honestly on what is working and what is not, and collectively chart a path that accelerates delivery.
In the Gambia, the African Development Bank funds projects across key sectors like energy, agriculture, transportation, water, youth employment, and governance. The review focused on boosting efficiency, enhancing accountability, and ensuring projects align directly with the country's development priorities. CDK M. Keita, the Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs, highlighted the importance of this review for strengthening development cooperation and achieving better outcomes for Gambians.
As a project coordinator or project implementation staff, we have to take on board the welfare of the citizens on whose behalf these projects have been conceived. So we cannot sit on our laurels and assume that the cozy environment that we enjoy are just a service. It is a task that we have been entrusted. As such, no stone or effort should be left unattended to ensure that the disbursement rate is in the upper teens.
Patricia Baptisha, the Chief Country Program Officer at AFDB, presented the portfolio's performance, including the results achieved, challenges faced, and plans for improvement.
The portfolio improvement plan aims to target the challenges or the reasons that lead us here. So this is just an overall picture. And also to share with you the major indicators that the bank uses to measure the performance.
Over the next few days, participants will discuss issues such as procurement delays, capacity gaps in project management, disbursement procedures, and coordination among implementing agencies. With renewed commitment from the government and its partners, the 2026 Country Portfolio Performance Review expects to lay the groundwork for more effective and impactful development projects in the Gambia. For QTV News, Lole M. Kamara.
The Banjul High Court has acquitted and discharged former military officer Abdullah Sanyang of charges relating to arson and judicial interference. More in this report by Usman Jatta, based on court reporting by Nicholas Bars of True Point FM on TV.
The ruling was delivered on Tuesday by Justice Ibrahim Ojete, who held that the prosecution failed to prove its case beyond reasonable doubt. Sanyang was standing trial on 2 counts, the first related to the 2016 burning of the APRC Bureau in Kanifing South, while the second stemmed from remarks he allegedly made during a radio interview on West Coast Radio in August 2025, which the state argued were intended to incite disaffection against the president. The accused pleaded not guilty to both charges. During the trial, the prosecution called 7 witnesses and tendered documentary and electronic evidence. The case was largely based on statements Sanyang allegedly made during a live radio program in which he was said to have described certain court proceedings as clandestine and claimed involvement in financing the arson attack. However, Justice Ibrahim Jaite noted that Sanyang denied making the voluntary and cautionary statements tendered by the prosecution and maintained that his remarks were misunderstood and taken out of context. The court further observed that although the burning of the APRC bureau was not in dispute, the sole eyewitnesses testified that the perpetrators were marks and could not be identified. In his judgment, Justice Jaite stressed that suspicion or public disapproval cannot replace proof in criminal proceedings. He therefore acquitted and discharged Abdullahi Sanyang on all counts, following submissions by the state indicating its intention to appeal. The court admitted Sanyang to bail in the sum of $50,000 with one Gambian surety. Osman Jata, QTV News.
We will now go for a commercial break, and when we return we have more national news stories. Do stay tuned.
Isikata ke luolum ke munafang yiridingola walle ka yiridingodomo o kammala FAO itonlim ministry kunda men marta jata kende ala yonyun sute ko yiridingolu men benna kunda to walla na jamalu kono sing munafang wolula adoyata nyaawonya yiridin killing inyanta domolale domor san killing luolum nsikata ke yiridingolu men be ko duto banano pakaya kaba sanano animpia nsiwolu domo yiridingo maarufu ngo wole fango beteata katu men jarata purute balola jata kendeya abeba konole andunga manjara yesukuru nyin lafaje ibe hakilo bulandela yiridingo nyin janni ba domola isaku ay senea ne yiridingol fanan na wato tambita yiridin jarolu men kataraje wala min fengol men kasoto yiridingol bala wol fanan beteata le purka wol josay wala katu amanjara yesukuru lafaje ni yiridingolu ikendeyata ibeteata bakele ite bala jato sulata menna purka osoto ibala ibajela jata kendeya si sabati Gambia banko kanjang alimu na fang yiridingo maarufu wala jato si kendeya bari isi saratulu fanan noma meya lon ko wolle be laring domor karsalingol la karola anim fanan na domorinya kendol la karola
jëfewal xeeti meññeeti garab yu neex buntu liggéeykaay United Nations seen banqaas bi dox na ci tëddalini dund ak mbayteef di Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations ak ministre bi saytu wàllu wér garam gi ràññee nañ nag ñuy bànneexu nag ci xeeti meññeeti garab yu neex yi nekkee nag ci suñuy dëkkuwaay lu mu tuuti tuuti lekkal benn bos bu set fexeel nag ci tànneef yi lu mel ni ki mango banana papakaya kaba ananas wala pia xeeti meññeet yi yépp a baax lii nag dana nekk loo xam ne nii dana baax ci suñu yaram te tamit nag ajoowuñ ñu yokk sukar fàttalikul nag ne dangay raxas sa xeeti meññeeti garab yi balaa nga koy lekk te tamit nag meññeet yi bu fekkee ne seen traite passé na fexeel nag nga wowal ko te tamit nag mu nga cee nal juice boo xam ne nii tamit dana nekk beneen tànneef ngir rek xaaji téeméer bu nekk juice yi nga xam ne moom ngay lekk te duñ ci yokk sukar lekk lu sell ànd ak xeeti ñam yi.
Gambia, are you ready for something big?
From your trusted GSM operator, QCell, your favorite app just got a major upgrade.
From your phone to the world, buy credit, buy Sunu bundle packages, loan credit with eFankanta, and buy Q Power all in one place.
And here's the real upgrade. Q Money is now fully integrated in the app. Send money, pay bills, save money, so faster and easier than ever.
And for our entertainment lovers, stream QTV, Q Radio Live anytime, anywhere.
But that's not all. This upgrade also brings enhanced security features, smoother performance, and a brand new interface designed to save your time.
This is more than an app.
This is freedom at your fingertips.
Download the new QCell app today and unlock your digital life.
For more information, call our customer care on 111.
QCell, Sunubus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back and thank you for joining us. This is QTV News. As part of its drive to support the growth of STEM in the Gambia, the Q Group Foundation, in collaboration with the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, Tuesday awarded scholarship packages to another group of 20 students pursuing a 4-year degree course in the STEM discipline at the University of the Gambia. The event was attended by the Minister of Basic and Secondary Education. Ansumane Sonyasi tells us more.
Today's event is the 5th such intervention by the Q Group Foundation and brings to 70 the total number of students who have benefited from this life-changing gesture. Unlike other scholarships, the Q Group Foundation support covers tuition, a laptop and a MiFi device with 10 gigabytes of monthly internet. Q Group Chairman Mohamed Jah and the Q Group Foundation's Executive Director Madam Aissatou Jah stressed the importance of STEM in national development, reaffirming their commitment to advancing STEM education in the Gambia and urging recipients to make the foundation, their families and the nation proud.
With every benefit, there is a responsibility attached to it. We therefore urge you to take your studies seriously so you can maintain the B average required to continue benefiting from the scholarship. We also urge you to take good care of your laptop so that it can last you for the duration of the program. We also urge you to make best use of your internet connectivity package and not to use it on TikTok or other non-beneficial platforms.
Students are lucky nowadays. Our times, your parents used to pay all the school fees and everything. In fact, we used to carry our chairs and tables to school every day. Today, not only that you have chairs and tables, but your classrooms are tiled. There is fan. Some of you have even air conditions in your classrooms. And government, from primary school to high school is free. So jangut, yola neex.
Basic and Secondary Education Minister Dr. Habibatu Drame and Fatou Bite, Director of Science and Technology at MOPSI, commended the Q Group for what they describe as meaningful contribution to national development over the years. They also highlighted the impact the scholarship is expected to have on the lives of recipients and their families.
I call them our children as I see them still as young people who have a long way in life to go. And it will be part of the nurturing process that we will continue to accompany you, to support you and give you the right guidance that you need to succeed in life.
I wish to warmly commend the Q Group Foundation for its visionary leadership and for aligning its support with national priorities in education, skills development, and innovation.
On behalf of the 2026 recipients, Joseph Mendy and Khadijatu Mane, a 2022 scholarship recipient, thanked the Q Group Foundation for the support they continue to offer to students in STEM, especially those from less privileged families.
Honorable Minister, please allow me to take this opportunity to invite and encourage our brilliant minds here present to join our Settle Ambassador program. In fact, our first Settle drive, led by Korka and Suleiman of QTV, will bring together content providers to clean the coastal road roundabout on this coming Saturday, so you are all welcome to join us at 8 a.m.
As the beneficiaries prepare to begin their university journey, the Foundation's Executive Director, Madam Aissatou Jah, gave an assurance that the students will be closely monitored and supported with counseling throughout their studies. The Foundation, the humanitarian arm of Q Group, has impacted thousands of lives nationwide through interventions across various sectors, particularly during disasters, and is currently implementing the Settle Sunyureo Keep Gambia Clean initiative. Ansumane So Nyase for QTV News.
The Gambia's National Youth Parliament at the weekend held an emergency dialogue on irregular migration, bringing together youth leaders, returnees, policymakers, security services and partners to address risk, prevention and safe alternatives, amongst others. Julden Jai has the details.
The Emergency National Youth Dialogue on Irregular Migration theme, Breaking the Silence, Saving the Future, took place at the Youth Monument in Westville, drawing dozens of young people and national stakeholders into an open, solution-driven discussion. Irregular migration remains a major concern in the Gambia, particularly along the Atlantic route toward Europe, which authorities and international organizations continue to describe as extremely dangerous. In recent weeks and months, maritime incidents involving migrant boats departing from the Gambia have once again highlighted the high risks of loss of life, with hundreds of migrants confirmed dead and others reported missing following capsizes at sea, according to security and rescue authorities. Abdullahi Oba, clerk of the National Youth Parliament, said, addressing irregular migration among young people requires tackling the factors that push them to leave, strengthening maritime surveillance, and improving collaboration between communities and security forces to prevent departures. He also stressed the responsibility of young people to support national efforts aimed at curbing irregular migration. As part of those efforts, the Gambian Navy last week received 2 interceptor boats. Honorable Jabu Sisawo, the Speaker of the National Youth Parliament, the Gambia, emphasized that irregular migration goes beyond statistics or policy debates, describing it as a youth crisis and a national concern that requires honest, courageous and youth-led solutions.
The role of the National Youth Parliament of the Gambia at this critical moment is clear. We are here to amplify the voices of young people, especially those most at risk. We are here to bridge the gap between policy and lived realities. We are here to challenge decision makers to act with urgency, empathy and accountability.
Ansumana F. Sanyang, Assistant Commissioner of Police and Assistant Superintendent Alkali Jame of the Immigration Management Unit of the Gambia Immigration Department, noted that silence and delay reporting continue to pose serious challenges in addressing irregular migration, often resulting in preventable tragedies.
I had a Sanyang visa and I traveled to Sweden. When I got to Sweden, I saw the situation in which some Gambian youths were living, and it was very pathetic. So people can hang around very beautiful stalls and malls in Europe and take pictures and send them to you. And then you call it, but bro, man, they want to say, why I want to go to Europe. But you don't know the condition in which this particular person is living. Some of them cannot afford the 3 square meals that you can afford in this country. I've seen this. They have to hang around restaurants and be feeding on leftovers.
I think it's high time that the youth of this country stand up and speak up. Speak up against the smugglers, speak up against the unscrupulous people making money out of your desperation.
The event concluded with panel discussions in which migrant returnees shared their experiences, while policymakers highlighted ongoing efforts to strengthen prevention measures and youth engagement. Reporting for QTV News, I am Juldenyai.
The Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy has gathered stakeholders for a consultative forum on the E-Gambia Power Project. The discussions focused on providing technical guidance to shape the project's infrastructure, design and implementation of the energy. Here is Jacqueline Colley.
The World Bank-funded E-Gambia Power Project is a flagship initiative within the Gambia's National Development Plan 2023-2027, designed to transform the country into a digital nation through the establishment of modern, reliable and sustainable energy infrastructure. The project aims to enhance the energy sector by leveraging digital technologies to improve service delivery, monitoring and overall operational performance. The forum is designed to involve key stakeholders in offering expert technical input to guide both the strategic and detailed infrastructure design for the E-Gambia Power Project. Participants include representatives from government agencies, the energy sector, development partners, and private sector actors. Discussions focus on critical areas such as capacity analysis, stakeholder engagement, sustainability, planning, and other essential elements for the project's successful implementation. Stakeholders are expected to evaluate existing systems, identify gaps, and recommend solutions to ensure long-term efficiency and resilience. Sanusi Drame is the Director of Cybersecurity at the Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy.
The Electronic Gambia Power Project therefore proposes to leverage that infrastructure to deliver quadruple play services, mainly broadband internet, high power broadband internet, internet protocol enabled smart electricity meters, cable or IP internet protocol television, and internet protocol telephony. By expanding fiber to all types of businesses and entities.
Mr. Drame says the project will boost broadband penetration and affordability while also creating new investment and employment opportunities across the country.
The E-Gambia Power Project is more than fiber on poles or meters on walls. It is a national platform for opportunity, resilience, and inclusive growth that will provide value-added services.
Officials at the meeting stressed that the consultative approach is vital for ensuring the project remains inclusive, technically robust, and aligned with the country's national development priorities. David Wu is the project consultant.
This project is a foundation for the Gambia's digital economy and the overall digital transformation, because we know to do the digital transformation, the first step is building a strong and resilient infrastructure, connect everyone, universal access and digital inclusion. So to provide fully connected and with a very reliable, high-speed optical fiber, fiber to home, fiber to office, is the foundation for the digital transformation for Gambia.
The insights and recommendations from the discussions will help shape the final design and implementation framework of the E-Gambia Power Project, a pivotal initiative set to advance the country's digital transformation agenda. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jacqueline Collie.
That's all we have time for in this bulletin, but join us at 10 for another news bulletin. Thank you very much for watching.